Ladies and gentlemen, it is your host of Ask Andre and president of Second Chance University. We are back in the building. It's no long stories. Shout out to my brothers in Missouri, I'm saying, for putting this together. Brother Jay, you know we doing this. You ready? All right.
Ask Andre, episode 5. We back in the building. Question 1. Is your business a family business or just a one-man show?
Well, my business is a business. I have over 10 employees. So, and it scales up to 20, 30 at times. So, depending on the contract that I get or what I'm working on. But no, it's not just a family business or a solopreneur is what they would call it. I am not a solopreneur. I actually have employees that are on staff. We've had as many as 20 full-time employees, 25, think about, who's in South Carolina. So with that, nope, we're all business and it's open door. It's not family in the sense of everybody works for me. It's just related. I think I am the only one other than my son who kind of sort of works for me. But everybody else is non-related, might be good friends or just experts.
Question 2. What's your favorite NFL and NBA team and why?
Okay. We're going to give you the full answer, not just a partial answer. As a young kid, I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. You know what I'm saying? Terry Bradshaw, Lynn Swann, Stallworth, Mean Joe Green, Greenwood, Jack Ham, Mike Webster, Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was a kid in the 70s, the only game that came on TV that I got a chance to see was the Super Bowl. So you either like Pittsburgh or you like Dallas, because those are two main teams on the Super Bowl in the 70s. I like Pittsburgh's uniform, so I want the black uniforms. So I was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Then as a kid, you shift to every kid in the hood I knew loved the LA Raiders. Or it used to be the Oakland Raiders, because it was just like the toughest team in football. I never watched football. I never played football. But the Oakland Raiders had the best marketing, so it hit me on the ground as a kid. And then when I went to prison, I started watching sports. I think I went to no games as a kid. I don't think I ever went to a sporting event, baseball, basketball, football, hockey as a kid. I watched hockey because my dad watched hockey, but that's another story. But so when I got to prison, you're identified because everybody in prison watches sports. So when I got to FCI Memphis, I'm in a cell with a guy named Sass. Sass, super cool dude. He's like, hey, man, we're in a hole together. He says, what's your football team? I said, what are you talking about? I don't watch football. So Sass got me to watch football. He said, no, college. What's your college team? I said, I don't watch football. He says, what do you mean? He said, you're black, you're 20, you don't watch football. What's wrong with you? He had never met a black person my age who hadn't watched a football game. He said, when we get out of the hole, we're going to watch football together. We were in the same unit. We got out the hole a couple weeks later. He took me to the day room. We watched University of Miami football. I'm talking about Michael Irvin, Jerome Brown, Jimmy Johnson, the smoke. It was straight fire. I'm like, yo, I can rock with this team. So college football, Miami is my team because it was the first team I ever watched. Thanks to my guy Sass from Miami. And if you ever see Sass, if you know my man from Miami, have him hit me, man. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? It was Sass, Butch, and there was one other brother from Miami, but Sass was my dude from Memphis unit. So Sass, if you see this, listen, we got to connect. So that was my football team. College basketball team was University of Michigan because my stepdad wore this dumb T-shirt for years, the Michigan Wolverines T-shirt, and he used to be a basketball player, so I assumed he went to Michigan. So Michigan became my team because it was my dad's team, which I found out years later it wasn't, but it was too late. I'm a Michigan guy going back to Butch Wade, Ramil Robinson, Glenn Rice, Terry, was it Terry, Glenn, or something? I can't remember. You know what I'm saying? Even before the Fab Five just took it over the top. But I was down with Butch Wade and the guys, and then the Ramil Robinson crew, then the Fab Five. Then I kind of tapped out after them because I got away from basketball. But that was my basketball team for college. And again, only because I thought Dad went there, my stepdad. Then lastly, once you get identified in prison, especially in the feds, by the state you're from. So for me, I'm from Boston, so that makes me a Celtic fan, a Patriot fan, a Red Sox fan, and a Bruins fan. When I was in the state, I was in the county jail, and the Patriots played the Bears, and we got smashed. Luckily, I was at home, so it didn't really matter. When I went to the feds in '88, the Celtics were the bar. I never watched the games, but all the dudes who were in the feds from D.C., from Chicago, from New York, they hated Larry Bird. You're from Boston, you're a Larry Bird supporter. So I can't tell you how many arguments I got in over Larry Bird, and I didn't even watch the damn game. But I was made to be a Celtic fan just because I was from Boston. It was so hard to explain to people that I don't watch sports because everybody watches sports but me. I swim, dude. Mark Spitz. They're like, who's Mark Spitz? He was a swimmer from the 76 Olympics. But so I became a Celtic fan by default. And then the Patriots, when Tom Brady came, I'm a Patriot fan by default. You know what I'm saying? We love Tom Brady. He's phenomenal. Love Bill Belichick. Phenomenal. But I became all these things by default while I was in prison. And then when I came home from prison, when Tom blew up, you're from Boston, it's just an automatic. I went to maybe 2 Patriot games. And when I went, Tom Brady was already gone. So that's how much a fan I was. I probably watched, of the 9 Super Bowls he played in, 2 games. I watched the Atlanta game because I was in Atlanta and I was stuck in a restaurant with a friend. I don't watch sports. I be out moving around too much. So I am a Boston fan by default. You Miami for football. You Michigan for basketball. And Jimmy Johnson is my favorite coach of all times. I was Atlanta Braves fan because they had Dion. When they put my favorite players, since we're doing that, my favorite baseball player of all times, Barry Bonds. Greatest man to ever put on some cleats and pick up a bat. My greatest football player of all time, Bo Jackson. You know what I'm saying? He's just you can't do Bo. Bo's that guy. My favorite athlete of all time would be Deion Sanders. He was just like, he was just everywhere doing everything. And hockey, I really don't have one. I watch the Bruins because my stepdad used to watch the Bruins. Don't really have a favorite college player because I didn't really watch college sports. But Bo Jackson, Barry Bonds, Deion Sanders, we in there. But the craziest thing, I used to be the bookie when I was in jail, so that's why I know so much about sports, not because I watched them. I used to run the book. Thank you for all your donations to the cause.
Question 3. When someone starts making millions, what's the best way to protect and invest their money?
I'm going to give you some advice that every financial advisor will say is horrible. When you make money, you get $1 million. Dre, what do I do? If you don't understand, for you to ask this question, you're not financially literate. You're just good at that business. Not me, business overall, but that business. Selling snow cones or Twix bars, whatever you were selling, it made you $1 million. You don't know what to do with the money. I'm going to tell you. Go to the bank, put the money in a trust account or a bank account of any kind. It's going to get a real low interest rate, but who cares? Put your money in the bank and leave it. They're going to tell you. This is what people are going to tell you. Dre, inflation is going to eat your money up. Or inflation has gone up higher than the interest rate. Whatever. I got $1 million in the bank, and it is sitting there. Until you become financially literate, you shouldn't touch it. There are so many athletes and entertainers who are now broke because they try to do investments based on them having money versus them having knowledge. Take your money, put it in the bank, and leave it. So what? You're getting a small interest rate. What you're not doing is losing your money to a bad investment. You're not losing your money to bad real estate deals. You're not losing your money to some dumb private jet scam. Put your money in the bank. When I first made money, what I did is I went to the bank and I put it in. Dre, you missed out on Bitcoin. I did. I also missed out on 10 deals that would have crushed all my money. So I missed out on a couple to go up. I missed out on a lot to go down. I put my money in the bank and I didn't touch it. I just left it. I made 0.005% interest, but that's okay. 3 years later, when I finally figured it out, my money was there. For so many people, they put in, they try to do all this stuff without the knowledge of how to actually operate it. Then 3 years later, their money's gone. You got the knowledge, no cash. So my best advice to you is put the money in a bank. Don't worry about interest rates. Don't worry about inflation. Just know 3 to 5 years, whatever it is it takes you to learn, your cash in some form, 95% of it will still be there versus 100% of it being gone.
Question 4. Do you do seminars in the outside world? And if so, what are they about?
Do I do seminars? Of course I do. I do seminars on business. I do seminars on health. I do seminars on trauma. I do seminars on leadership. I do seminars around violence interruption. I do seminars on a lot of stuff. I got a homie that does seminars on podcasting. Shout out to Dave Shands. So, yes, I do seminars in a free world on a variety of topics in a variety of places. So, if you call me, if it's in my wheelhouse, I can come teach it. I'm saying, wouldn't you want to come to one of my seminars on the street? Come on. If I had a seminar you was on the street, you'd come. Like, yo, I'm going to show you how to make $1 million. I'm going to show you how to make 300,000. Show you how to be successful. You know what I'm saying? So people come to my seminars because I don't do the extra stuff. I don't do the smoke and mirrors. I just teach. And people appreciate that.
Question 5. What limits do you have when it comes to spending money?
What limits do I have when it comes to spending money? Let me see. This is... I got 2 Amexes right here. I got a platinum and I got the reserve card, which is the biggest one they got. I don't have a black card because I don't want to pay $5,000 a year for nothing. So I don't have a limit. My limit is my conscience. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a limit, but I don't really buy a bunch of stuff. If I want to go buy a car, right, I could go to the dealership right now and buy a Rolls Royce. And it'll sit there. I can go to dealers. I can go right now and buy a new house, pay it off, and it'll sit there. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy things for the sake of buying things. I don't have a limit. I have a limit. My limit is not even the cash I have. I have cash, but I have credit that goes 10 times bigger than my cash. You know what I'm saying? So once you learn the game, you learn that credit rules. So I probably have like 60 credit cards. You know what I'm saying? I literally on my staff, I have somebody who specializes in credit and funding. That's all they do is work on keeping my credit score high, my usage low. You know what I'm saying? And they apply for that's literally their job is financial advisor. And they get credit cards. I got credit lines of credit from this bank, that bank, this bank. It's just there. But I still don't spend money like that. So I don't feel the need to go out and get a mink coat. It's just not me. So could I? Yes. Do I want to? No. It was probably like a few years ago, I wanted to buy an Aston Martin truck. I said, I'm going to buy this Aston Martin truck. It was just fire. I wanted to get it. And I said, dude, you don't drive the truck you got now. So you're going to spend $250,000 on a vehicle that you're not going to drive. So as much as I wanted it, it didn't make, not financial sense, it didn't make life sense. It wasn't the price that stopped me from buying it. It was like, I'm not going to spend $250,000 on something I'm not going to use. That's the part that stopped me from buying it. And some people would have bought it anyways and then not drove it. And then 3 years from later, they'd have sold it for like $160,000 and you'd have lost $90,000 and talking about, it's all right. No, it's not all right. I need that $90,000. Again, I leave my money in the bank. When I come up with a really great idea, then I execute. Is this a 100-year idea or this something just for the next 5 minutes? So will this car be here for 100 years or is it going to be here for a short time? The car that Max didn't make the 100-year plan, so it got nixed.
Question 6. How can we follow your son's music and support his grind?
My son is in college, so he slowed down on making music. But when he gets back up to speed, he has Instagram page, I think. We'll be putting stuff on the tablet soon enough. So when I get his music back on the tablet, matter of fact, we just have to do an album, put it on the tablet, then y'all can copy it there. So it should be coming soon. Probably early 2025, we can get an album for him on the tablet, just so y'all can check it out. And then we're going to make it like as cheap as possible because it's not about the money, it's just about him sharing his gift.
Question 7. What has been your greatest accomplishment in life and why?
I could say my son, which would be easy. So we're going to take family out of it. I'm saying because that's a no-brainer. My greatest accomplishment in life is, I would say my greatest accomplishment life is different than business. My greatest accomplishment in life is being recognized globally as a peacekeeper. I'm going to go with that. People in multiple countries and multiple heads of states and multiple agencies, when they say Andre Norman, they say positive peacekeeper. So to me, to take from who I used to be, psychopath, maniac, king of nowhere, it was all negative, all bad, used to be the attachment to my name. So for my name to be attached with positivity and greatness, that is my greatest achievement in life. That I flipped that whole narrative into something super positive. And I appreciate all the people who've helped me because I didn't do it by myself. I have hundreds of mentors and tons of people who prayed for me and stood up for me, even though I didn't know how to stand up for myself. But that would be my greatest achievement in life, that I will go down as a positive person who did great things in this world.
Question 8. Will you ever be an investor on Shark Tank, and will you invest in the person or the person's business?
One, I have no interest in being on Shark Tank. Looks like a great show, but it's TV. I'm not a TV guy. If you notice, I'm not on TV. A lot of them on the prison tablet, but if you go on your TV, I'm not a TV guy. So I have no interest in being on Shark Tank. And if they call me and say, hey, Dre, come be on Shark Tank, I would go. And no, I'm not investing. It's a combination. The business has to make sense, and the person has to be the right person. So that's how investing goes. It's not just the idea, but can the person carry forward the idea? So you might have the idea for the electric car. So Elon Musk had the idea and the drive versus somebody who had the idea that didn't have the capacity or the drive to pull it off. There's a lot of pressure that goes into running a business. There's a lot of sacrifice that goes into running a business. So if I look at you and you're super in love with your wife and you got 3 kids and you got this brand new house and you're not going to work, you could be home with the family. You're taking vacations, you're going on school trips, all of that stuff. You're not the guy or the lady that I want running my business because you're too committed to something else. I need somebody who's super committed to this. I mean, when you look at people to invest in, who's going to be able to do 40 hours a day? Who can do 8 hours a blank? Who can do 20 hours a week? Who can just be, this is their life. You know what I'm saying? You want to find someone that this is going to be their life, at least in the beginning, then you can try to help them scale back. So no, the business has to make sense and it has to be the right person for the business.
Question 9. You talk about all the clothes that you have on the last episode, but have never wore. Well, what is your vision for starting your own clothing brand?
I do have a closet full of clothes because that is one of my childhood issues, not having clothes. And I don't wear them. I mean, I literally just leave them in the closet. My stuff, I buy stuff for me. I don't buy stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? So when you buy your honey buns and your cookies and stuff, you buy them for you. If you eat them or not, or you just try to save them for a rainy day, I don't ask questions. So I'm starting a clothing brand, Second Chance University. When the university is set, that'll be the clothing brand. Like any other college, like I'm not going to name a bunch of colleges, but every college has swag or gear. So Second Chance University's clothing line will be my clothing line. I will not have a Andre brand or something like that. So the university itself, its clothing brand will be mine.
Question 10. Will you take $50 million from a corporate company to come speak only for their company's vision over giving hope to the brothers and sisters inside of prison for the rest of your life?
If somebody offered me $50 million today, this podcast ends right now. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I trust and believe that I've done enough work and helped enough people get started that somebody else can come fill these shoes. And if you don't think that you're replaceable, just die. And you will find out how replaceable you actually are. So I don't believe I am the only one that can do this. I'm the only one that is doing this. I don't believe I'm saying no matter how good or bad you think you are, you might think you're the best, but it don't matter. Michael Jackson was the best singer ever, then he died. You know what I'm saying? Prince was the greatest musician ever, then he died. You know what I'm saying? Bill Russell was the greatest winner ever, then he died. You know what I'm saying? So we're all going to die. And then somebody else will fill whatever role that you're in. So if I can tap out with 50 million, I ain't going to front. I'm tapping out over the last 20. I can look back at the 25 years of the work that I've done and the people that I've invested in and trust that they're going to keep this thing going. So right now, this is episode 5 of Ask Andre. Some of y'all got good game and ready to run off. Hey, Drew, you ready to step up? You can go from asking the questions to answering the questions. These aren't hard questions. It's just, do you want to dedicate your life to doing this thing? So as much as I love doing this work, if I had the option or opportunity to take $50 million and step away and let somebody else do it, I'd do it. Now, if you said to me, Dre, you can take this money, but nobody would ever do this work and the whole thing will go off the cliff, that's different. But if it's just going to be somebody other than me, I'm out of here with the swiftness. I'd be like, yo, cut. I'd be like, yo, cut. We're out of here. Shut this down. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have the logo, everything.
Question 11. what legacy do you want to leave behind for your son and those who look up to Andre Norman?
The legacy that I'm working on right now is you can do stuff. There are a lot of great people from history that you don't know. You know why? Because they didn't write their stories down. I'm in the process of writing. I have my first book, Andre Norman, Ambassador of Hope. That's out. I want to create more books sharing my knowledge. We read the Bible because it's written. We read the Quran because it's written. We read the 5 books of Moses because it's written. You know what I'm saying? We read these books because they're written. So I know, not that I'm writing any religious books, text whatsoever, but it's the written book that people can actually get access to, even if it goes digital on Kindle or whatever. But writing your story down is extremely important. We still read and go by stories today that were written 3,000-4,000 years ago. So when I was in prison, Machiavelli was the book. This dude wrote a book 1,000,000 years ago. As a Man Thinketh by James Allen was the book. You know what I'm saying? I grew up, you know what I'm saying, studying As a Man Thinketh, and the fact that he died 100 years ago didn't matter. So Malcolm X, I read his book, you know what I'm saying, 50 years, 40 years after he died, you know what I'm saying, and it helped me gauge my life. So the written word is one of the most important ways to communicate your legacy. And I'm getting more of my stuff lined up. If you go on my notes, I probably got 10 books I got to get done. That's just in the next 2 years.
Question 12. If you went broke today, what blueprint would you use to build your money back up?
If I just had something happen, I got in a car accident or something happened and I got sued for whatever reason, they took all of my money. Like I said before, I've been broke 3 times. I've been rich 4 times. I have the blueprint because I'm still a professional speaker. People will still pay me to come get on stages. I'm still a program designer for prisons. People will pay me to come design programs for prisons. I am still a peacekeeper. People will bring me to different parts of the world to do that. My money might go, but my skill didn't go. You know what I'm saying? So if LeBron James lost all of his money tomorrow, he can still get a contract come next season. So all the old money's gone. He can get a contract for the new money. You know what I'm saying? So as long as I don't lose my skill, I'm not worried about losing my money. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to lose my money. I've lost it multiple times. I've been able to get it back because of the skills that I have, not because of the money that I saved. So build your skills up.
Question 13. How would you advise someone to market themselves and their brand in order to level up?
If you want to market yourself and your brand, you need a story. What is your story? You know what I'm saying? You need people like stories. Every brand has a story they're in, and the story is what catapults people to be interested, and it doesn't matter the storyline. Your storyline can be a multitude of things. So there's tons of people who have storylines, and we follow those storylines. Like the rappers, we follow the storylines. The athletes, we follow the storylines. And it's all about the storylines. And then if you can get a good story around your business and your brand, that's what's going to matter. You know what I'm saying? And then the nuances of marketing and advertising kick in. But the first thing you need to launch is a great storyline. So one of my storylines is prison to Harvard. Catches people's attention, boom. He went from where to where? That's 2 extremes. He went from the worst place in the world to the biggest school on the planet. So when I say prison to Harvard, that's the name of my speech. It catches your attention. That's the story. So you need a story that's going to catch people's attention to make them say, wow. Then once you got their attention, now you can sell them. You can't sell somebody something if they ain't paying attention.
Question 14. What benefits do Second Chance University have when it comes to building a career?
What benefits does Second Chance University have for building a career? We're going to teach you the art of communication. That is, if you're doing presentations, stages, or whatever, so motivational speaking, workshops, we're going to teach you that. That is a real business that makes a lot of money, I can attest. We're going to teach people how to use podcasting. Podcasting is like the #1 mechanism for getting out. They're giving out super bags for podcasting. $30 million, $40 million, $50 million, $100 million for people doing this. It's crushing through the roof. So we're going to show you how to be a podcaster, how to do writing for a podcast, and there's people behind the camera. There's a brother sitting right in front of me that you can't see. He has a real job in this space. So there's people off camera, you know what I mean, that maybe you don't want to be on camera. Maybe you want to be the engineer. You want to be the content creator. You want to be these people. Maybe you just want to learn how to create funnels and things that you can sell online with. I have a lady that works for me. All she does is create marketing tools to sell stuff to make money. And she gets a percentage of that. She doesn't have to be me. She just has to sell me. So there's that. So Second Chance University is going to teach you skills. And we'll give you certifications in those skills on how to be successful and get your foot in the door and level up.
Question 15. Tell us about your experience with a well-known celebrity and how did their advice help you in life, if you had one with them.
Well-known celebrity. Okay, so Stedman Graham. Stedman Graham, you would know him as Oprah's boyfriend. He's a super cool guy. He's one of the most, if you had to pick, he's dating or connected to the most famous woman in our country, next to Michelle Obama. So hanging out with Stedman, he's given me so much advice, it's hard just to pick one thing. Just being around him, you learn. But his biggest thing, and he taught me, is identity leadership. Dating Oprah is not easy. She eclipses everything in the world. She's it. So dating Oprah is your identity. Your identity. We identify him as Oprah's boyfriend. We don't identify him as Stedman Graham. So I got to meet Stedman Graham. I didn't meet Oprah's boyfriend. And then I got to see how he had to maneuver from under the shadow or under the, whatever you want to call it, the solar system of Oprah Winfrey and be his own person. So what I learned from Stedman was how to be my own person in spite of, you know what I'm saying, it's all positive, but when the people around you are just giant, I work with a lot of celebrities, I work with a lot of entrepreneurs and rich people, so how not to get in their shadow or in their solar system and not be me. So that's one of the key things I learned from Stedman from all the years that we hung out is identity leadership. And phenomenal guy.
Question 16. Who was your mentor as you were coming up after you got out of prison?
Mentor. Now, inside, Natan Schaefer, mentor, still in my life. Pat Dempsey, mentor, still in my life. Deacon John McMillan, mentor, still in my life. Father Martin. That was an M. Father Martin, St. Basil's, Missouri, still in my life. Tim Allen was my first mentor when I came home, still in my life. You know what I'm saying? I can go down the list. You know what I'm saying? Mike Maddox, still in my life. Ben Richter, still in my life. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're going to get me in trouble for not naming everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get in trouble. Rusty Keeley, still in my life. You know what I'm saying? Dave and Susie Spence, still in my life. Dan Curran, still in my life. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Jules Gothard, still in my life. I can go on for days. You know what I'm saying? I can keep going. You know what I'm saying? I probably have at least 50, 60 mentors, and I'm leaving out tons of them. You know what I'm saying? John Rulin, who just passed, God bless him, was in my life from day one to day now. You know what I'm saying? Joe Polish in my life. Cameron Herold in my life. Michael Burnoff in my life. Deborah Burnoff in my life. Come on. Mentors? Dude, you can never have enough mentors. You can never, ever, 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 ever have enough mentors. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Per Sodorf from Sweden in my life. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep going. Dude, I can rock out for hours on mentors and tell you stories from each one of them that they built into me. I'm trying to slow down. David Seligman, mentor. Nina Staley, mentor. We keep going. Listen, there's mentors who are just flat mentors, and there's people I've worked with who've been really helpful. So Dave Abel, work with. You know what I'm saying? Brian Sterling, work with. Carol Michi, work with. You know what I'm saying? But still learned lots from them. You know what I'm saying? I can just go down, oh my God, get me going. Don't get me going on the mentors. I can write a book on mentors. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad because I'm trying to remember all the people I didn't list. John O'Leary, mentor. You know what I'm saying? Chris Voss, mentor. You know what I'm saying? Howard Getson, mentor. Dan Sullivan, mentor. Ben Hardy, mentor. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my guy Elko, little bro, mentor. I mean, I could just keep going and going and going. You know what I'm saying? There's no end to this list. There's mentors, and there's people I work with who de facto mentors. You know what I'm saying? Who just been there for me. Oh, my brother Paulo down in Bahamas, mentor. You know what I'm saying? I can just keep going all day. You know what I'm saying? All day. You know what I'm saying? All over the planet. This just isn't like a local thing. I'm saying people who've helped me. I'm trying to get them. My guy, Garnett Little Page, Philly, mentor. You know what I'm saying? You make me pull my phone. I'm feeling bags. I'm forgetting people. Not forgetting them. I'm just not listing them. You know what I'm saying? Because so many people helped me get to where I am. It's not even funny. I did not do this by myself, by no stretch of the imagination, on no day of the week. You know what I'm saying? Who else do I got? I got more people. Will Dunn, mentor. Dominic Williams, mentor. Man, listen, I can just keep going. Listen, shout out to all the people who've helped me, you know what I'm saying, through and through, you know what I'm saying, this entire time. I got one guy I can't miss. You know what I'm saying? I'm so messed up I can't get his name off the top of my head. Oh, Felix Stubbs. You know what I'm saying? I could not do Felix. You know what I'm saying? That'd have been a crime. Felix Stubbs, mentor. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there are too many people. I got to start thinking of countries. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people in different countries. My man Salmon in Kenya, mentor, and my brother. Man, it's just too many to announce. It's just too many. I have to like do it by region, do it by state. Todd Bettison in Detroit, mentor. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I'm trying to break it down. And I just keep going. Oh, how did I forget? You know what I'm saying? He's my son's godfather, and he's stuck in my head right now. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. This is my son's godfather. And I got so many names spinning in my head. Ken Marin. That's my, listen, I got so many, listen, Ken is he's my mentor, my advisor, my relationship coach, my son's godfather. And I got so many names spinning in my head right now. Oh, my guy down in Jersey. Oh, my God. I got too many people. I got too many people. Oh, hold on. I got to get him. I got too many. I can't listen. I got to stop. Jason Fladlin, mentor, brother. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my God. Listen, I'm seeing his faces. My son used to go down there every summer and hang out with him. His son and my son used to hang out every summer. But I got so many names spinning in my head right now that this is crazy. I can't. There's some people you just can't skip over. You got to just put them in. Even though, listen, I'm not ashamed that my head is spinning. My number one mentor, my number one mentor of all mentors, Keith Alper. How did I forget Keith? I'm saying that don't even make sense. I'm saying Keith is Brian Hall. I was just with him from Cleveland, mentor. Buddy Johns down in Texas, mentor. This is not even fair. I got to go to my phone because I got too many of them. I got way too many of them. Nando, you know what I'm saying, in North Carolina, he's a new mentor, but he's a phenomenal mentor. Shout out to High Point University. I'm looking for one guy in particular because like my head is swole right now. This is not even funny. We got too many mentors, and you can never have enough. You can never have enough. Listen, and my guy, of all guys, you know what I'm saying, I got too many. My guy Simon down in New Jersey, you know what I'm saying, we've been rocking out, man, from Curacao back to New Jersey. Man, my son goes down every summer to hang out with his kid. You know what I'm saying, shout out to my guy. So, mentors, too many to count. I could not list all what they've done to me and all what they've done for me and where they've taken me to. And anybody I forgot, I didn't forget you. I just, like I said, how did I forget Keith? If you read my book is dedicated to Keith. And so it's not about, you know what I'm saying, anything else. Sheriff Crawford, you know what I'm saying, in Virginia. Sheriff Irvin, Gregory, Sheriff Bowen down in Hampton. Don't make me get started. Too many people. There's just too many people. So I'm going to stop there and say you need to collect mentors like nothing else because it makes a huge difference in your life.
Question 17. You spoke about the wisdom in not renting cars on episode 2. So what type of car do you drive now?
The wisdom of not renting cars was I was wasting probably like $4,000 to $6,000 a month in car notes. So now I think I got a Porsche. So I drive a Porsche right now. But the difference is I own the Porsche versus renting. So the wisdom was rentals is like $200-$300 a day sometimes. You multiply that times 30, and you multiply that times 4 cars. It's just crazy numbers. So like the monthly rates on each car was like $2-3 grand, where that's a car note. So I'm burning up money in rentals, but now I own a Porsche, and it's super simple, and it's done deal. So that's what I drive. I want to get the Aston Martin, but I couldn't justify getting it because I'm never going to drive it. My car has less than like 30,000 miles on it, and I've had it for a couple of years.
Question 18. What's your favorite TV show? And if you don't watch TV, why not?
Today, I actually don't have a favorite TV show because I'm never home. And TV shows come on week after week after week, every Tuesday at 8 o'clock. I'm never home every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, so I just don't. But I've watched some stuff on TV. So The Wire is a classic. You can't go wrong with The Wire. Mayor of Kingstown. I watched season 1 of that. That was cool. I'm saying they had me watching Blacklist. After the first 2 seasons, it got goofy. So what else do I watch? I'm not a Game of Thrones guy. What do I watch? I watch right now, 90% of the stuff I watch is YouTube. I go on YouTube and I'm studying stuff. So I don't really watch TV shows as much as I watch how-tos. When you get out, you got YouTube. You can put how to do this, how to build a funnel, how to start a business, how to do this or how to do that, how to do a podcast, how to get a clothing line. Everything you want to know is on YouTube. So my shows, when I was in jail, used to watch Seinfeld. That was my guy. In jail, 90210, early on. That was my show. In jail, now I'm going back 24 years. I can't remember what was on TV 24 years ago. Yo MTV Raps. Dude, that was in the feds. We didn't have cable in the state. Yo MTV Raps was, I remember it used to be just every Saturday for a half hour with Five Fab Freddy, and they flipped to Monday through Friday with Ed Lover, you know what I'm saying, and the other brother, you know what I'm saying, forget his name. It's going back 25, 30 years. That's 25 just when I get out. So you add another 10 on to that. We're going back 35 years. So TV shows, right now, I mean, there's more movies than TV shows. So that's my thing, and I'm sticking to it. I'm trying to think, am I missing a TV show that I actually watch? If it don't come on, I have cable, but I don't turn it on. I just stay on YouTube. So I actually don't watch TV shows.
Question 19. What is your favorite food and restaurant?
2 different answers. My favorite food of all times is tacos. When I was a kid, my mother used to make me hard shell tacos, you know what I'm saying? You buy them in a box, boom, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a hard shell taco guy. I can eat them 7 days a week, no blink. Ground beef, lettuce, tomatoes, you know what I'm saying? Lettuce, cheese. I'm a hard shell taco guy. It's my favorite food, no blink. And the restaurant I go to, my default is a restaurant called Ruth Chris. It's a steakhouse. Go in. I'm trying to remember. I know off the top of my head. I'm not T-bone. I'm saying bone-in ribeye, cream corn, sweet potato souffle. I'm saying with apple pie for dessert. I'm saying that's my Ruth Chris. Don't need the menu. I just went to a restaurant in Cleveland with my brother. He took me out to dinner, and dude, we had it was red something, but yo, the steak was phenomenal. So I'm a bone-in ribeye guy by default. I'm saying that's what I eat. There's a restaurant in Michigan I go to with a really great friend of mine. It's called Black Rock. It's just like super clever. They cook the food on the rock. It's really, really good food. It's really, really good time. So if you're in the Michigan area, go to Black Rock, check it out. I sent you.
Question 20. If you needed something important done and could not do it yourself, who would you call on to get it done?
Oh, that's not even a hard question. Ask me a hard question. My niece, Brianna, she's my personal assistant. She does everything. She runs all my businesses. She controls my life. If I needed anything done, she'd be the person I call, regardless what time of day it is, what time of night it is. And she's going to most times she does it before I even realize it. I was someplace in the world one time. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning where she was. My flight got canceled. I think I was flying from west to east. I got an 11 o'clock flight or midnight flight. leaving probably Phoenix, coming back to Atlanta. So midnight in Phoenix is 3 o'clock in the morning in Atlanta, where she lives. So my flight got canceled probably like 11 o'clock. Man, my flight was rebooked in 3 minutes. She called, she sent me the text, flight canceled, rebooked, here's your new confirmation code. Before I even got a chance to even think about calling her, I was like, maybe I can handle this. Walk over to the counter. She had done it. So Brianna is like, Brianna is the backbone that makes this whole Andre Norman, Second Chance University go forward. So I'd probably be a tenth of where I am now without her support, in good times and stressful times and off times, because she's the one that makes it all go. And definitely when to answer the question, if I ever needed something done, I probably wouldn't have to call her because I get done anyways, but yeah. And we have a new lady that started work with us named Trisha, and she's definitely on track to be Brianna Part 2. So you can never have enough great people in your life. So right now, Brianna is A1, no blink. Trisha's on the way to being A1, no blink. If I get 5 more of those, man, I can retire. And they just run my life. I could just go on vacation to Brazil or something.
Question 21. Define your thoughts of the word impossible.
My thoughts of the word impossible is just a word. That's all it is. It's a word. You can take that word and let it mean what you want it to mean, or it can just be just a word. Because impossible is what I do for a living. And for the record, I've done it multiple times. So that's just the way some people describe things that they deem extremely hard. I don't deem it extremely hard. I just deem it takes more effort to get it done. So if it wasn't impossible, I'm saying more people would try to do it. So the fact that it's impossible, it means just to show the line trying to get it done. So for me, impossible is just a word in the dictionary. It means to show the line and trying to get to the thing. There's not a lot of people in the way, because things that are possible have a lot of people in line and a lot of clutter. Things that are impossible, the average person gets out the way. So when I get into the impossible line, it means I'm in line with serious people. All the pretenders and the fakers, they're gone. All the people who ain't sure of themselves, ain't got no confidence, they gone. When I get in the impossible line, everybody in this line is dead serious and about their business. So it gives me the chance to meet great people who have vetted themselves by trying to do this impossible thing.
Question 22. What's your favorite quote and who is it by?
My favorite quote is, "As a man thinketh, so is he." It's by James Allen. It's from my favorite book, As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. I truly believe what you think is what you become and what you project. So it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you have, it's what you think. And I can see you, but I can't see your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? And some people have sick thoughts, some people have positive thoughts, some people have great thoughts, some people have expanding thoughts, retracting thoughts. So if you can elevate your thinking, you can elevate your life. If you can elevate your thinking even more, you can elevate other people's lives. So I don't get mad at what people say about me, what they say to me. I get mad at what you had to think about me to say that.
Question 23. Who, if anybody, do you look up to and why?
Who do I look up to? Man, it was probably 8 questions ago. I gave you like 30, 40 mentors. Every last one of them. Every last one of them. I look up to every last mentor, and because they fed into my life. And this morning, when I came out my house, there was a guy on my street. They come down the street on trash day, and they take the trash can out from the side of your house and pull it to the sidewalk for you. I just got to put it back. So when I leave here, I go home, I got to put my trash can away. And I'm watching the guy walk down the street. He's pulling out trash cans. To me, that's motivation. Nothing against that man. I just don't want his job. And when I see him, I'm like, man, that's a tough job. That you got to all day, every day, drag trash cans out from behind people's houses. And I'm like, how hard does that job have to be? How much does it really pay? How edifying really is it? You know what I'm saying? And I just think of all the things that man's going through to be that person. And that motivates me to say, you know, Dre, man, you better get back in the studio, man. I just got to sit here and talk. This man's dragging trash cans out, man. And I see people with jobs that I don't want. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the job, or anything wrong with the person. But when I see people doing jobs that I don't want to drive an Uber, don't want to drive a taxi, don't want to work in a restaurant, don't want to pull trash bags, don't want to pull. I look at these jobs Now, being a pilot looks cool, but I really don't want to be stuck in there for like 12 hours of flight. But it looks cool. I look at these people and say, Dre, stay on your grind. I use them for motivation. You know what I'm saying? I use my mentors as inspiration. They inspire me to want to go higher. But the people I see doing jobs day to day, they motivate me to just keep pushing and create a way for everybody, if that makes sense.
Question 24. Do you know Tyler Perry personally? And if so, how do y'all network together?
That's simple. I do not know Tyler Perry personally. I've never met Tyler Perry personally. I've never been to any Tyler Perry events. I mean, I don't watch TV, so I miss most of his shows. I've seen him on movies, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen a couple of Mahdi movies. Was it? I'm saying the name wrong. But I've seen, I don't know how to say it. Big Mama's, that was the other dude. That was from Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence. I've seen Mahdi, I can't pronounce it. I've seen a couple of movies. He's cool to watch on TV. I'm glad he's doing his thing. His studio's probably like 15 minutes from my house. But to answer your question, I've never met Tyler Perry. I know people that know Tyler Perry, but I've never worked with him personally. We don't overlap. I don't do that type of media. He doesn't do this type of media. So maybe one day we'll meet. But as of right now, it's just never happened.
Question 25. What do you consider to be a great day in your life?
Question 25. A great day in my life is when I can live my purpose. When I go home at the end of the night, at the end of every night, I sit in my room, I actually take a tally. Did you help somebody today, Dre? And did you really help them? Did you give all that you had? Or did you hold back? Sometimes I help people I don't give my all. And you won't know it because you just got what you thought you wanted. Sometimes I go above and beyond. I go all in. And sometimes I just meet just the basic answer to basic needs. So for me, at the end of the day, I can say, you know something? I've been helpful to my son. I've been helpful to my brother in mankind. And that's good. That's at the end of the day, every day, I look back over my day and say, did you actually fulfill your purpose and the reason you're on this planet? Not did you just take up space and suck up air for 24 hours. Did you actually do what you were here to do? And when I can say yes, I go to bed and I feel good. If I say no, or not all what I wanted to be, it gives me drive for the next day. So that is Ask Andre, episode 5. We are in the books. It's been phenomenal hanging out with y'all. Get ready for episode 6. We'll be back. Listen, come on, y'all. Come on, where the hard questions at? I'm waiting for y'all to come at me, man, with some really, really hard questions. I want to help you level up your life to be whatever you want to be. But until then, just know I am your host. I am the president of Second Chance University, Andre Norman, and I will continue to show up for you as often, as much as I can, man. As long as they let me wake up, I'll be in this booth and trying to guide you into the right direction and not into the wrong direction, man, because you have a great future waiting for you, and there are people waiting for you to get right because only you can help them get better. So until the next time, be good.